All right, check one. Okay, welcome to the Banjo virtual classroom. Today I am going to be doing the tab walkthroughs for two different tunes. I'm going to start with the one you see on the title, which is Hog Eyed Man, a wonderful tune, kind of spooky sounding. Sounds great on the banjo. It's been one of the more popular tunes from the Tune of the Week series, and so we're going to do that one first, and it's also in a unique tuning, which also gives it a special sound. So this is the Banjo Virtual Classroom. If you are happening to watch this on YouTube, there's a link in the video description for the tab for this tune, and of course members of the Breakthrough Banjo course will find this tune inside of the vault. Like I said, I'm going to start with this one, and then we'll come back and do Bonaparte's Retreat next. This is, I believe, a Banjo level 3 arrangement. Let me see what yeah, that's right. It's a Banjo level 3 arrangement. So you can, if you're not familiar with the levels, there's a link in the video description. You can also go to clawhammerbanjo.net/levels to learn more about those. Okay, so let me start by just, I'm going to play the tune for you, Hog Eyed Man. So here we go. Okay, so there it is, the video for Hog Eyed Man. Great tune, like I said. Let's get started. By the way, if you're watching live and you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat box, and I will check that periodically and answer anything that should arise. So let me switch views now. Chop off my head here. And you'll see at the tuning, at the top of the page, the tab, and the tuning. So you'll see it's ADADF. So that that first string there, this is essentially double D tuning with the first string raised up another half step to an F. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that tuning. So we have D on the fourth string, A on the third. So there. A on the third string. D on the second. F on the first. And notice here I have my capo on the second fret just because the changing to these tunings is a little bit quicker with the capo, so you just put it on and then tune directly to these notes. And then I also have my fifth string spiked at the second fret, and I have an A on there. So very minorish sounding tuning for this song. All right. So let's get started. First measure. So once again, just as a reminder, this little blue box here, I'll move around to denote where I'm at, which measure I'm working on at any given moment. So we're going to start, hammer on, open second to the second fret of the second string. And then we've got an open second, followed by a hammer on to the third fret of the third string. I have a 2 underneath there to indicate I'm doing that with my middle finger. And then now we have the open third. And then open third followed by a hammer on to the fifth fret of the fourth string with my third finger, my ring finger. So you've got essentially 3 hammer-ons in this measure. The whole measure sounds like this. One more time. All right, that's the first measure. Second measure, open third. Open first followed by fifth string. Second fret of the second string. Third fret of the third string followed by the fifth. So that whole measure. That whole measure. One more time. Third measure is exactly like the first. And now we close out. We have a hammer on from the open third to the third fret of the third string. Then open second again, and then the open fourth. So that whole measure. All right. So everything at the top of the screen, these first 4 measures, sounds like this. Great start to the tune. All right, let me pause for any questions. Okay. Now, now we will go fifth measure. We've got the exact same thing we played in the first and third measures. You're going to note this little unit repeats 4 times in the A part. So it sounds like this again. And then next measure, exactly like the second measure. Third measure, exactly the same again. Now here's the change. last measure here. We're going to have the open third followed by the open fourth with the drop thumb. And then the open second. Open second again followed by a brush thumb. So I'm going to go ahead and play those 4 measures again before we get to this last one. Here they are. Now, this tune is crooked, meaning it doesn't have the typical fiddle tune structure of 8 measures of A, 8 measures of B, or 16 measures depending on how your time signature is. This has a little half measure that goes into the B part, so that's what makes it crooked. And you might notice it feels a little bit awkward or tricky at first to get it. Your brain wants to naturally straighten it out. But this is where that extra little half measure is. So we're leading into this with that brush thumb, and then I do a skip stroke to the open second, another skip stroke to the fifth. So with the preceding brush thumb, it sounds like this. So this little is just kind of little pause, half measured in between the A and the B parts. Lee, this is in the key of, this is, I guess, technically a D tune. You tell me what mode it is. I don't know technically which mode it's in. All right. Now we're going to start with the first measure of the B part. We have the open first, followed by the second fret of the second string. Then the open first, followed by the fifth. Now we've got second fret of the first string, and I'm going to put my middle finger on the third fret of the second string to get it ready for the next note. So we have first string, and then the second string played with the drop thumb. And then release the notes, the frets, and then play open second and the fifth string. So that whole measure. Now we're going to play fourth fret of the first string, followed by a brush thumb. Just holding our fingers in place. And then the first string and open second. And then the second string and the fifth string open. So that whole measure. This third measure up here is the same as the first. And the last measure you see, again, fourth fret of the first string, and then the open second followed by the fifth, and then open second followed by open third with a thumb, skip stroke to the fifth string. So that whole measure, sorry. So everything at the top of the screen sounds like this. Alright, now we're going to close out the second half of the B part. This measure, exactly as we've seen, sounds like this. Next measure, fourth fret of the first string, seventh fret of the fourth string, followed by the fifth, back to the fourth fret, and then fifth fret of the second string, followed by the fifth. So that measure. Back to open first, then open second, followed by the fifth. Hammer on, third fret of the third string, followed by fifth fret of the third string. And then open second, followed by open third with the thumb. So that whole measure. Now close it out, hammer on from the open third to the third fret of the third. Open second. Open second again, followed by brush thumb. So everything at the top of the screen sounds like this. Now, see the two dots there, meaning this is the first pass through the A part, so we would play that again, and then instead when we come to the last measure, here's what we'd play the second time through if we were going to be ending it, okay? And so we do like that. Now if we were going to be going back to the A part, not ending the song, we just do that brush thumb again. And then start at the beginning. Like that. Alright, that is it for Hog Eyed Man. And looks like we're good on questions. So, alright, so like I said, I will be coming back in the Banjo virtual classroom in about maybe 5-10 minutes to do Bonaparte's Retreat. So in a few minutes, just you might want to refresh your browser if you want to catch that one as well, if you want to catch it live. If you have... Yep, Lee, that would be an, let's see. Yeah, that'd be an open D minor chord, D, F, A. All right. So like I said, if you want to catch Bonaparte's Retreat, I'll be coming back with that in just a moment.